Hey, good morning everybody. David here at Scale Models Midwest. Welcome back to the workbench. It's Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week, and I'm off for the rest of the week. So, in and amongst my honey-do list that I'll be working on, I figured I'd spend a few hours each day in the morning and in the afternoon working on some kits. This one, as you can see here, is a mess, first of all, but I have plans. This is the Monogram 1967 Corvette 427 Coupe. It's kit number 2801. It's been around for a few decades, easy. I built a couple of these in the past, and this is actually one of my, I don't know if I'd say throwaway model, but it's one that I wanted to keep. My wife worked for a company whose owner had a Daytona Yellow 67 Tri-Power 427 Corvette. So I spent about 6 months building a kit that looked exactly like his car, right down to the stinger stripes in the front. The tires and rims were the rallies that he had, and I just thought, you know, he treated my wife nice at work. He was a great boss. Ed Dixon. If you're ever out there and you see these YouTube videos, hey, we're thinking of you, bud. But after that, I was left with a parts kit because I had bought one off of eBay, and it just so happened to be this one. And I thought, you know what, I kind of like that kit. I'm going to paint one myself. Unfortunately, the paint in the humid summer sun just didn't sit well, so I started to strip it, and then as you can see here, this was the result. I honestly don't remember what I stripped paint with, but as you can tell, it's just absolutely devastated. Just kind of give you a little 10-cent tour. I mean, this is rough. Everything on there is not a single panel on this body wasn't affected negatively. And you know, I looked at it and I tried to start sanding here. I also tried to sand up here, but it just wasn't getting anywhere. So I put the kit away for a number of years. Got on eBay and I found another kit that had some damage to it, but I could fix it just like I could fix this. It's just when, you know, we'll get around to it. And it's just been staring at me for the past few months on the other table, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go on ahead and start this. So this is a restoration project. I've restored kits before, but this one, I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't think it's too far gone, but you can be the judge of that. But I have some ideas. So I figure on this one, I'm gonna at least try my hand at sanding a lot of this rough stuff off. So I went to Micromark and I got this micro power sander. I actually got it from my local hobby shop. They ordered it up for me over at Hobby Haven. Great guys. But here's what it is here. It comes with a bunch of sanding pads, triangular, some squares, some rectangles, some circles, and one speed. And so I figure I'm just going to take a little bit of time and see what I come up with. I'm going to start with the hood and see how this bears out. So I don't know. I'm just going to give it a shot right here, and let's just take this off. The chassis, by the way, on this one actually fared out really well. You can see how I had fogged overspray for the yellow. Will I paint this kit yellow again? I'm thinking yes. I like the Daytona yellow. I'm going to see if MCW has a paint in that color, because I don't really want to restore this chassis. I do have another kit that I'm going to build up, but this one here, I got a plan for it, and I'll tell you about it a little bit later. But right now I just wanted to show you what I've got. I'm going to have to rescribe all the door panels too, but I've got some ideas. So if it doesn't pan out, the idea I've got in mind, all I can say right now is a hint: Dennis Hopper, and you know, we'll go with that. So maybe some of you that are in cars, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to go ahead and get right down to it. So let's see. I'll just start sanding, and just kind of see what it does. smoother. But I don't think it's going to do. I'm sure after all this is done, I'll be using a lot of filler to smooth it out. But for this particular body, I just want to kind of smooth out the rough surface. And the bottom line is not going to be back to the plastic, I don't think. So I think that when it got stripped, it just kind of destroyed the body. What I'm doing right now is trying to salvage what I can for the plan that I've got in mind. I can definitely feel the difference here versus here, and there's still plenty of grit left on that sandpaper. So I'm just going to go on ahead and play with this for a while, see how it looks. Like I said, I don't know on this one. I don't know if I'm going to prime it or paint it. I do see I've got some damage here up at the top, but for the plan I've got in mind, the hood's not being used anyway. I'm right now just testing it to see. You see right there, it just broke off. I'm just testing it to see how the sanding part works. So I'm going to go on ahead and work on the kit some more, and I'll get right back with you. Alright, so Thursday evening, I've spent about 3 hours sanding this down, and as you can see, I've made a lot of headway. I am going to put a very light coat of primer on this and see where I need to touch it up a bit more, but I don't want it to be perfect. I don't intend this to be perfectly restored because I have a goal in mind for this one. As you can see, I've already done some things, like I've cut out the headlamps, headlamp covers. I'm going to put in sheet styrene and put some headlights in here. I still have to get the dental pick and kind of pick out a little bit more of the vents here by the windshield wipers, as well as on the gills on the side. But otherwise, I got this sanded fairly well. Like I said, over the course of about 2-3 hours. I used coarse grit sandpaper, 60 to 80 grit, and then I used sanding sticks, and then ultimately I went to use that little micro mark sander right here, which went really well. Went through about half the sheet of triangles and squares, but otherwise I did that. And then I used, getting like nooks and crannies, I had some coarse sanding blocks and then some super fine to kind of smooth everything out. And ultimately, I mean, if you saw the thumbnail and then you see this here, you'll see there's a vast improvement over what it looked like. And I'm happy with the results so far. Like I said, I'm going to put a light coat of primer on this, let it sit overnight, and then resand before I put on a final coat of primer, and then kind of put color in the spots where I want it to be. So, like I said, I got some ideas on this. I'll share those with you as I get closer to building the engine and chassis. But meantime, I just want to kind of give you an update on this. I still have to look for some parts. I'm going to get online and see if I can find some 3D printed parts, especially like single 4-barrel carburetors. I'm looking for a different type of tire and rim setup for these, so I'm going to see what's out there. And yeah, so I'm going to get this over to the paint booth. We'll see what it looks like.